Hi again, and welcome back to The Savvy Psychologist. I'm Dr. Ellen Hendrickson, and every week I'll help you meet life's challenges with evidence-based research, a sympathetic ear, and zero judgment. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I love that there is a national holiday set aside simply to be grateful and for eating, which is actually a nice segue to today's topic. Because today, the day after Thanksgiving, is the unofficial start to the holiday season. And Turkey Day is just the beginning of a month-long crush of good tidings and joy, to be sure, but also boatloads or maybe sleigh loads of stress. There are the financial pressures of a consumer society, potential eruptions of old and new family grievances, not to mention the availability of too much spiked eggnog and New Year's Eve champagne, plus an avalanche of cookies. But there is one thing that can help with pretty much every holiday woe: exercise. And I know we're not supposed to think about that until it's New Year's resolution time, but here is a holiday challenge for you. Aim for consistent activity this month. A little something every day. And if you're not convinced, consider these 4 benefits of exercise this holiday season. So benefit number 1 is get a head start on making healthy habits automatic. Now, we're used to thinking about exercise in January, when, according to a Nielsen survey, 37% of Americans resolve to, quote, stay fit and healthy, while 32% resolve to lose some weight. Those are a lot of exercise-related resolutions. But start this weekend and get way ahead of the pack. Most of us have heard the myth that it takes 21 days for a new habit to form. And oddly, this urban legend appears to have originated from a different kind of transformation: plastic surgery. Back in the 1950s, it was found that people who went under the knife typically adjusted to their new appearance within 21 days, starting a decades-long game of telephone that somehow morphed from new noses to new habits. So, more recent research has since found that it takes, on average, 66 days to solidify a new habit, though of course it varies from person to person. But in general, round up a few days and call it an even 10 weeks. So start exercising a little bit every day now, and by New Year's Day, you'll already be halfway there. And it works. In a study in the International Journal of Obesity, participants were given 10 concrete, defined tips to try to turn into habits, like not heaping food except vegetables on one's plate, taking a break to be active for 10 minutes out of every hour of sitting, and limiting fruit juice to 1 glass a day. After 32 weeks, those who had made the weight loss tips automatic had lost the most weight. But best yet, for an investment of exercising a little bit every day for 66 days, you yield a healthy habit you don't even have to think about ever again. Indeed, in an interview study with people who had achieved the holy grail of automatizing healthy habits, including exercise, participants said that the habits, quote, wormed their way into your brain, and that they felt quite strange if they didn't engage in their routine, which sounds suspiciously like the aftermath of an alien mind control invasion, but perhaps there are some health-conscious aliens out there. But I digress. Okay, so let's get back to these 4 reasons to exercise this holiday season. And benefit number 2 is the domino effect. So one healthy habit can jumpstart a series of healthy habits, and in effect, logically called the domino effect. So by making one consistent healthy decision every day this holiday season, the decision to exercise, you might find yourself making other healthy decisions unconsciously, like making fewer trips to the cookie jar or stopping after one hot buttered rum. Now, usually, controlling oneself at a holiday party buffet or open bar takes a lot of willpower. But with the domino effect, it may not take up nearly as much headspace. Benefit number 3 is more of what you need, less of what you don't. So the holiday season is busy and stressful, and sometimes our sleep pays the price. So exercise reduces stress and improves sleep, and while neither of those benefits are breaking news, link them all, and you can kill several birds, 4 calling birds, with 1 stone. Think of it as a virtuous cycle. Stress disrupts sleep, so by decreasing stress, exercise leads you to sleep more soundly. Then, feeling well rested can, in turn, decrease stress levels in your waking hours. It's a cycle you won't want to get off. And finally, benefit number 4 is good cheer. And this is what the holidays are all about, right? A recent review study in the journal Depression and Anxiety found that improvements in positive affect, aka feeling more good, and reductions in negative affect, aka feeling less bad, start immediately after exercise and last for up to 4 hours. And you don't have to have a long established routine to reap the benefits. Indeed, the maximal benefits of exercise on mood come with your first few workouts. What's more, a nationally representative study of over 8,000 Americans found that the likelihood of having an anxiety disorder was significantly lower among those who exercised regularly. Now, that's not to say that exercise caused lower anxiety. It might be that people who aren't anxious exercise more. So researchers are still working to see which is the partridge and which is the pear tree. But in the meantime, a study out of the University of Sydney found that people who did have an anxiety disorder, who were already in cognitive behavioral therapy, had greater reductions in anxiety, depression, and stress if they also walked 150 minutes a week, compared to those who did therapy alone. So even if it's unclear if exercise can be a standalone treatment for anxiety or depression, if you're in therapy, it sure does add bang for your buck. So start today. Go for a walk after your Black Friday adventures. Rake leaves until you break a sweat, or take a power walk around the neighborhood to see the first of the holiday lights. Rinse and repeat until New Year's, and you'll make the upcoming holidays merrier, brighter, and healthier. For even more savvy, get every Savvy Psychologist episode delivered straight to your inbox by signing up for the newsletter at quickanddirtytips.com/newsletters. Or subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, listen on Spotify, or like on Facebook, where you'll find lots of links to archived episodes no longer available on iTunes. As always, thank you so much for listening. I am Dr. Ellen Hendriksen, and of course, The Savvy Psychologist is strictly for informational purposes and doesn't substitute for mental health care from a licensed professional. I will see you next week for a happier, healthier mind.